Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into a story that really sits at this, well, kind of bewildering intersection of sports stardom, social media, and frankly, intensely scrutinized personal lives.
hmm
Our focus for this deep dive, Lamine Yamal, the 17-year-old football prodigy. His world's just suddenly become this whirlwind of public allegations, denials.
Right? It's a lot. There really is. And our mission today essentially is to unpack this series of recent claims and counterclaims swirling around Yamal's private life. We're drawing everything from one specific, pretty comprehensive article published by VN Express International. So the goal is really to sort through these, conflicting narratives, understand the different viewpoints they present, and just see how incredibly quickly a young star's world can become fodder for intense public scrutiny.
Yeah, and this isn't just some abstract thing. It's happening right now to a 17-year-old superstar. I mean, we're talking about this huge football talent suddenly linked first to a 29-year-old former adult film star, then almost immediately to a different 29-year-old influencer. And the social media drama that just exploded, well, it's quite something. A real look at modern fame. So let's get into it.
Okay, so to really get why this is such a big deal, why Yamal's under this, pressure cooker situation, we need to first grasp just how big a deal he is on the field. He's, widely seen as a generational talent for Barcelona, for Spain, and a genuine prodigy. And his last season, just incredible. Won La Liga, the Spanish Super Cup, and the Copa del Rey. And stats-wise, 18 goals, 25 assists, 55 matches. I mean, these are numbers that put him right in the conversation for the 2025 Ballon d'Or. Seriously.
Absolutely phenomenal for someone his age.
Yep.
Puts him right under that global spotlight, doesn't it? But it's not just the football making headlines now. The core rumor, the thing that really kicked this all off, alleges that Yamal tried to pursue a relationship romantically with Claudia Bavel. She's 29, a former adult film star, and the claim is this happened through text messages.
Right. And Yamal's first public reaction came pretty fast. On June 20th, 2025, he was featured, though indirectly, on that Spanish talk show, Tardiar. The article says he basically dismissed it all, said he was not interested in Bavel, crucially, that he'd never met her.
And he gave a specific reason, didn't he? To a reporter, Alex Alvarez. Said a meeting would be impossible because he lives with his mother and she doesn't allow visitors she doesn't know. That feels like a very direct, very personal kind of denial right off the bat.
Yeah.
From your view, how does that usually play out for a young star, putting out such a specific denial?
Well, it's tricky, isn't it? A real double-edged sword. On one hand, yeah, it aims to shut the rumor down fast, assert some privacy, but on the other, it can, maybe inadvertently, give the person making the claim a hook to respond, which is exactly what seems to have happened here. Claudia Bavel, she's an influencer now, 29, got a big following, like 259,000 people she then took to social media. And she said she felt she had to go public because Yamal mentioned her on national TV. Said she hadn't planned to before that.
Ah, okay. So his denial actually prompted her response, and her story directly contradicted his. I mean, point by point. She claimed he says he lives with his mom, but in reality lives alone. That's a direct quote, essentially. And she also claimed Yamal said he rejected her when he was the one who sought my contact and insisted on meeting. Plus, she flat out denied his claim of never meeting, said they had crossed paths at several social events. So this isn't just a no, it didn't happen. It's a full-on refutation with details. What's so, I guess, striking about seeing these things play out so publicly?
What's striking, I think, is how fast the digital trial by public opinion starts. Everyone's suddenly weighing these two completely opposite stories, mostly without any hard proof either way. And it didn't stop there. Bavel then appeared on that same show, Tardier, the next day, June 21st. She doubled down on her side. And crucially, she added, she specifically declined to meet Yamal because he's a minor. That's a pretty significant detail.
Definitely, emphasizing the age aspect.
Exactly. And she didn't stop there. She claimed she has a voice recording. Allegedly, it's Yamal suggesting they could, spend time together despite the age difference. And then another layer, she alleged Yamal recently threatened her to keep their private talks quiet.
Wow. Okay, claims of threats, supposed voice recording, that really escalates things beyond just gossip, doesn't it? But even while making these, frankly, quite serious claims, Bavel also asked the public to stop sending her hateful messages. She put out a statement saying very clearly, I have never had any relationship with a minor, never arranged a meeting, and there was never any plan involving fame or money.
Yeah, it's a stark reminder, isn't it? Even in these sensational stories, there are real people getting hit with horrible abuse online. But, just as that situation was developing, this other story pops up. almost in parallel, totally separate, but adding this whole other layer of complexity to Yamal's public image right then. These were dating rumors involving another 29-year-old influencer, Fati Vasquez.
Right. That was just days after the magazine Lectures published photos of them. They were on holiday together in Pantelleria, that island in southern Sicily. Pictures of them jet skiing, lounging by a pool. So, okay, two distinct things happening at once.
Hmm.
And in the second case with Vasquez, both she and Yamal denied they were actually dating, right? Yamal apparently clarified he was there with several Barcelona teammates, not just alone with her.
Correct. Both denied a relationship, but the impact on Fati Vasquez seems to have been really severe. The article specifically mentioned she claimed she received death threats after those photos came out. She gave this quote to a Spanish TV show, La Familia de la Tele. It's quite raw. She said, "I'm getting really pissed off. People are even wishing me dead because of it. First, I'm 29. I haven't made it to the 30s yet. I haven't done anything, haven't killed anyone. The reactions are just too heavy, and it's even affecting him. We're just two people who want to have a good time, and that's it."
That's wow. That's a really powerful and honestly heartbreaking thing to hear. It just slams home how serious this online stuff gets. It's not just words, it's threats. It affects people's safety, their mental health. So if we try to connect these dots, what are the common threads here? You've got this incredibly high-profile, very young athlete. You've got older influencers involved in both cases, significant age gaps being discussed, and then this insane amplification through social media, leading to harassment, even death threats.
Yeah, I think what this whole episode really highlights is just how precarious things are for young talents now in the social media era. Your performance on the pitch, which is stellar in his case, can suddenly be completely overshadowed by these, viral allegations about your private life. Doesn't even matter initially if they're true or not. This he said, she said stuff isn't just tabloid news anymore. It becomes this instant public trial, and it really shows how vulnerable these young stars are to having their reputations potentially damaged very quickly. The article mentions, as of when it was written, Yamal was actually on holiday in Brazil, trying to get away from it all. Perhaps he was spotted there with Neymar, actually his idol.
Trying to find some normalcy, maybe. So, so what of all this? It feels huge, particularly for young people in the public eye. How on earth are they supposed to navigate having any kind of personal life under this constant, intense, 24/7 scrutiny? And for us, consuming this, how do we process these conflicting stories? Where's the line between public interest and just, prying into someone's private life,
Right.
especially when social media just pours gasoline on the fire, leading to judgment, threats?
Well, the information from the source is laid out. You have Yamal's denials, Bottle's counterclaims, the alleged recording, the threats, then the separate Vasquez situation, her distress. It's a really tangled web, all playing out extremely publicly across social media, traditional news outlets. It's everywhere.
Exactly. So wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway? We've sort of walked through these really complex, often contradictory stories around Lamine Yamal's personal life recently, and it really highlights just how hard it is to know what's true when claims and counterclaims fly so fast on social media.
And maybe that leaves a question for you, the listener. In this age where, any interaction, whether it's real or just rumored, can become a global headline overnight, and where people like Vasquez can face horrific harassment based on unverified stuff, how does this level of intense scrutiny actually impact the mental health, the development of young people growing up in the spotlight? And maybe what role do we play as people who read this news, consume this media? Do we end up fueling it? Or can we help diffuse some of this intense online speculation? Something to think about.